All right, all right. Happy Tuesday, guys. Welcome to Sabs podcast. I'm your host, Sabrinasalvati. My special guest tonight is the one and only Case Study QB. You may be familiar with a lot of his clips that I play on this stream and you see on other shows as well. What's going on, Case?
What's going on, Sabby Sab in the chat, and everybody? Much love to you.
All right, all right. So Case is here with some big news. We've been talking about this before behind the scenes, but now Case is ready to show that demo. So we've been talking a lot about like different options in reference to political parties, third parties, etc. And Case Study QB a while back came up with this idea for a mutual aid political party. So we're going to go ahead and dive into that. In Case, let me know when you're ready and I can put it up on the screen.
Yeah, let's go.
Take it over.
So first I want to give credit to RBN for introducing me personally to mutual aid. I don't know if I heard about it before that. I might have heard about it, but I didn't know about the significance of it until watching a lot of back then Fred Hampton leftists, now RBN, Revolutionary Blackout Network. And while listening to you guys and going to all the different summits that we had about 3 various summits. Like every year we had like 1 or 2 summits. And the idea did come to me that, hey, what if you can marry mutual aid along with organizing, along with activism, along with if somebody's running for office, they can knock on doors and instead of just asking, hey, give me your vote, give me your donation, give me, they can say, hey, what do you need? Hey, what would you like? How can I impact your life right now? As people are knocking on doors, giving out flyers. And this is where this idea came from. So mutual aid party is a mutual aid ticket application. All right. And this is a book that I read that I thought was very helpful. Here's a quote from it. It says, mutual aid projects are a form of political participation in which people take responsibility for caring for one another and for changing political conditions, not just through symbolic acts or putting pressure on representatives, but by actually building new social relations that are more survivable. And this is by Dean Spade, author of a book called Mutual Aid. All right, so here are the pillars of this initiative, this organization. The number one thing we would like to accomplish is mutual aid. So I will always say that when this idea launches, if all we do is create thousands of mutual aid tickets, meaning helping thousands of people, then I would have accomplished my goal. If we do nothing more than that, I would be happy, me personally, as the person creating this idea. But the icing on the top, so that's phase 1, which we're about to get into, is the mutual aid ticketing system. But phase 2, which is going to be coming later on, phase 3 is going to be coming later on. Phase 2 is political education, because we need to let people, why do you need to look into monetary, MMT, modern monetary theory? Why do we need to look into UBI? Why do we need to learn about propaganda, media propaganda? How can you identify what is being left out, what's being left in, critical thinking? That's all part of political education, right? And then systemic change. That's where ballot initiatives, I know, shout out to Roger Meadows, electoral politics, that's where voting and all that type of stuff come in. That's where striking, wildcat strikes, all the various systemic changes that can go on will happen in that final phase. And that's why we're trying to create a party atmosphere, but don't get this twisted. This is a long-term project. So if you're looking for a short-term project, definitely join the Green Party, join one of anything that's established right now. But this is like a 5 to 10 year project. But the most important thing is mutual aid. That's where we're starting off. As soon as we start the initiative, we're going to be focused on mutual aid. Okay. Any questions yet, Sabrina? Anybody? Just want to make sure we're good.
This all makes sense to me. Go ahead.
Excellent. All right. So I'm going to be showing you these features right now. So the first features is how to create a mutual aid ticket. And then we're going to go through how users can answer a mutual aid ticket. So here's the website. I'm going to show you when you go to, and by the way, let me give everyone the actual website that you can be prepared, because I'm going to show it to you, everybody in the chat, and then I'm going to go away from it. So, or maybe I can't post it in the chat, but everybody.
Just put it in the private chat and Eric can post it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'll put it in the private chat, and Eric, my man, Eric can do the rest. Shout out to the 11 demands. All right. So here's the website that you guys can sign into however way you like to sign into. Let me go back to the site here. Boom. All right. So this is the front page of the site. This is not the actual site. This is just a demo. So, but everything else, the words, I was able to, the first time I did this, Sabs, and I introduced this idea, at the end, I had a call to action. I said, I'm going to need lawyers and I'm going to need copywriters. Copywriters are the people that come up with the wording. And I don't know if they want me to say their names, but I got two very great, awesome copywriters that contacted me. I did several meetings with them. We were able to go back and forth on emails, and they helped me create the copy that's on this front page. So shout out to them. And that's the power of us working together, me being introduced to your audience, and the synergy that we're having right now. Okay, so, and let me just show this just for good merits. So at the bottom here, I have the Instagram. There's no pictures there yet, but guess what? I created the Twitter for Mutual Aid Political Party. Guess what happened? Oh, let me show it here. Boom.
What?
Like straight out the gate. I just created it, and then I went back to see what was going on, and it said account suspended. I didn't even put up a tweet yet. I don't know. I don't know what happened. All right.
Maybe title it MAPP.
MAPP?
I wonder if it's the mutual aid part.
Maybe,
Boy, but I tell you.
Yeah. So, okay. So now I'm going to show you how to create a ticket. So for everybody who's following along at home, here is and you can, at the top it says, let me cancel this for a second. At the top it says running a test. So you could close that if you want to. Boom. Okay. Create a ticket. So let's say, wash car. I need help washing my car. Let's say I have disabilities and I can't wash my car or something. Need help. Okay, so you could put it at whatever priority that you want to put it at as the person creating the ticket. This would be on location. So remote is if you need help, you just want somebody to talk to. Let's say you need some for mental health purposes. Let's say you have a computer that you're having problems with. That this is stuff that you can do remote. Anybody in the country can remote into your computer, etc. But on location is when you have to actually go to somebody's house or etc. Right? Okay, so then you could put either ASAP or you can put an actual date. So let's put in the date and then boom, hit submit. And then that's going to come up. Where did it go? Wash car. Boom, there it is. Right? So Sabs, I don't know if you're if you can see that on your side.
Yeah.
Can you see it says wash car? Click on the link, because right now we're going to do this live that Sabs is going to apply to help me with this ticket. All right.
Okay.
So if you see it, then you at the bottom, you should be you wouldn't see update complete because I'm the person who created the ticket. Only I can see those buttons. On your end, you're going to see the button says apply. Is that correct?
Yep. So I just hit apply.
Well, yeah. So you just hit apply. Now I need to work on the functionality that hope in real time it will pop up. But I'm just going to go out and come back in for right now. Boom. And there goes Sabs. So I know you got you create a new site, and I know your avatar's not there yet, but that's all right. You have your username there. So I say, oh, I got somebody here that wants to help me out. Okay. I'm going to accept her help. Boom. Accept. Let me go out, come back in. Boom. And there is a check mark. Awesome. So now let's say Sabby comes over, helps me out, and then we're done with the ticket. I would go back in, hit complete. All right. Let me go back in. Boom. Now I can rate Sabby on how she helped me out. So I'll give her 5 stars because Sabby's the best.
Yay!
She did great. All right. Boom. All right. So we hit enter review. And then boom. What happens now is if I go to her, if you go to anybody's account, you can get their rating. So this is like, what's going to happen is you can go to mutualaidparty.org. That's going to be the final website / sabrinasalvati or whatever your username is. So in this case, it would be /Adam. And then you would have a rating system up here. And then they're ticketing the requests that they're putting in. And then eventually you'll also see the tickets that that person answered and what ratings, all those kind of details, so that you're going to be able to differentiate people who might have lower stars. The way I describe it is, think of it like with Uber, right? You want to hold both people accountable. You want to hold the driver wants to know that, hey, I can't just treat anybody any kind of way because they could give me 1 to 5 stars, and I want to make sure my star ratings are good. And then vice versa, the passenger knows, hey, I don't want to act crazy, which we've heard those stories, unfortunately, on both sides. But that's how we keep everybody accountable, etc. So hopefully anybody has any Sabrina, you have any questions in regards to that?
No, it all makes sense to me.
Okay, awesome. So I'm going to go back to here. So we did this first part. Now we're going to talk about the team side. A user can create an organization can create a team, and a user can join a team. And this is where it gets powerful. This is where this idea gets more powerful, because to get to that part of systemic change, we need to come together. We need to be able to collaborate. We need to be able to say, hey, after building camaraderie with each other, there's this issue that street on Craft Avenue has so many holes, and it's been like that for years. We really need to go to city council and figure out how can we get them to fix these streets. That's the whole point of this mutual aid party, is you start organizing as teams, and then as a team, you can go ahead and solve issues in your community directly. I don't care about the presidential level, the Senate level, and the House level. I don't care about that yet. That's, like I said, 5-10 years down the line. I care about the community, city council, mayor. We keeping this on the ground. That's how we're starting off. And a couple of examples of teams that I would love to see eventually is like the Green Party of Brooklyn, Workers Strike Back of Queens, RBN Boston chapter in this example that we're here, a community garden of Newark. So just somebody that wants to create a team of teaching people how to create a tomato garden or a vegetable garden, etc. They can create a team where they can help people do that. And I'm going to show you that shortly. Churches can create a team. Okay, so let's go back to the website. Boom. So here's the tab called Teams, and here are examples of teams. So here's Mutual Aid of Plainfield, New Jersey, for example. And this is also going to have mutualaidparty.org/team/ and then they will have their username. So the way you think about Twitter, where you have twitter.com/your username, that's the same idea with your own username. And then also with teams, they'll be able to have their own page. So under profile, you'll be able to put what your initiative is, what your directive is, a summary of what you're trying to do. And then under members, you can show your members list and the roles they have, people that are with your team. And that's something I'll have to talk to somebody like Sabby, who's actually organizing a chapter. Maybe that's something you want to keep private. Maybe that's an option that we can do. Right now, there's no option. It's just showing the membership, but that's something that we can talk about down the line. Okay, so here's the powerful point. Our services. And I remember listening to Sabby, and at the end, she was talking about her Boston chapter, and she was like, hey, there's certain things that we're going to specialize in that we want to do. So this is where that comes in, our services. So when you create a team, only you will have access to a button up here that you can literally create tickets, and the tickets will show up down here. So let's say this Mutual Aid Party of Plainfield, New Jersey, what they specialize in is food for the unhoused, repair houses, and giving rise to groceries. Like, that's what they say. Hey, we don't mind doing other things, but this is our main directive. When you come here, we're more likely going to do these tickets. So you will be able to put pre-made tickets, and then somebody could click on create ticket, and boom, it's automatically filled out. And then you could just fill in the rest of it, like what dates you would need it for and how high of a priority it is, et cetera, et cetera. All right. And then when you do create the ticket, it's going to come up under services needed. So now the people who are members of this team, they'll be able, like every day, every other day, when someone's available to do a ticket, they'll come here and say, hey, let me see if anybody needs any help. Oh, there's a ticket here that somebody needs help. Let me reach out. And that's how you'll be able to, the same way Sabby applied for that previous ticket, you'd go through the same steps here. And then if you want to join, you just click join, and boom, it would allow you to join.
Can I show them something really quick?
Sure. Go right ahead.
So just to show you guys like what Case is referring to, when I sent out the form for the RBN Boston chapters, notice I give you an idea of what we specialize in here. So I put financial literacy, self-care, higher ed alternatives, mental health counseling. Obviously, you have to be licensed in the state for that. Housing and tenant rights, grow your own food, Marxist theory, how to start a worker co-op. And then there was the option of other. So that's what Case is referring to. Like, what are we focusing on in Boston? And those are the things that we're focusing on.
Perfecto. So that's exactly it. And I think that's the basics for right now that I want to show. There's nothing else. And there's still some little, I found some bugs actually while I was going through there, some little knickknacks that I have to fix. But that's the overall picture right now for what we want to show. And when we launch, we're going to be in that phase 1. And we want to get people up and running, creating tickets and answering tickets. And then we're going to go on from there. So the goals that I have is that we want to have at least a team in 50 states. Now, once we get to 50 states, then you get into the cities and into all the nitty gritty, the towns, and it's going to spread that way. But what I'm looking for is having what I call onboarding captains. So these are people who are going to be responsible. So let's just say Gamer for Life, my man that's in the chat. Much love to all my people in the chat and Bad Cookies. Let's say Gamer was like, hey, I want to be down with it. Let's say I forgot where you live exactly, Gamer, but let's say you live in New York. All right, I want to sign up to be a onboarding captain. I'll email wegotus@mutualaidparty.org. This is it right here. And say, hey, I want to be an onboarding captain for New York. All right, so I'll reach out to you. We're going to be in communication. And basically what I would like to have you do is contact churches, already established mutual aid organizations that might be in New York. So let's say if you're in Kansas, I think KC Tenants is a popular mutual aid organization. So you will be reaching out to all these different organizations inside New York to try to convince them to join the website and basically letting them know that this is going to be an easier way to organize. And going from there. All right. So that's the website. Yeah. So help us get involved. We got us at mutualaidparty.org. This is just the beginning. You want to be there when you say, well, I was there when that organization first got started and I helped them out. So I appreciate you and appreciate everybody. I think I can't stop sharing. I think we're good.
All right. Robert said it really works. This has been going on in my neighborhood for years, but not using the political. This is a great idea. 100%. And Violin has a question. Is there any recognition given for X amount of hours completed, etc.?
Yeah. So that's something that I definitely want to implement. Just to let you know how hard it was just to get to this point. I think I started back in last November and I had a goal of finishing at the end of March. And here we are in June, about to launch. We've gotten really close to dotting the I's and crossing T's. We're not exactly done yet. I'm hoping to be done in maybe a week or two and actually do a fully launch. The next place I plan to go to is our guy Kit from Hardlands Media. That's the next show I plan to go on to. Yeah, but we're going to be adding the different phases, the political education and the systemic change, but also on that user page, we are definitely going to gamify this idea, meaning, hey, that person, Sabby, created 5 tickets or answered 5 tickets last week. Wow, I got to beat Sabby. Let me try to do 6 tickets. And in this fun competition, and it's also holding us accountable. So, for example, when I found out about mutual aid, and I looked up, I said, let me go to New Jersey. That's where I live. If there's any mutual aid organizations in New Jersey. And I found some. I was like, wow, okay, there's a mutual aid organization here. I had a problem with groundhog underneath my deck. And I was like, I don't want to pay to have somebody come and take him out because I don't have the money for that. So let me see if I could reach out to a mutual aid organization. Nobody got back to me. It was absolutely silence. And I'm like, I wonder how many other organizations out there that if you find out about mutual aid and like, oh, I want to create a mutual aid organization, but we already have 5. Oh, we don't need another one. But those 5 are dead organizations That's a problem. So this is going to be a website that shows accountability to show how active you are, and it's going to hold the organization accountable so that you can see when the last time they helped somebody. So I'm hoping that this can help with that.
All right. Right. And I want to show you guys what Case means when he says some of these organizations may be dead. There's a website, I've shared this on this show like multiple times before, but mutualaidhub.org. If you go to this website and you click on table of networks, it lists all the different states nice. And the cities and different types of mutual aid organizations here. But sometimes you may click on one of these or contact and you'll realize like it's not active anymore, right? So that's what that's just an example that Case is referring to. But yeah, if you want to see if there's something in your area, I would say start with mutualaidhub.org. Eric, if you can share that link for people in the chat, that's how you can tell if there's anything in your area, and then you can contact them to see which of those organizations are still active and are actually still participating.
So a perfect example, and I just took note of that site myself because I wasn't familiar with it. But like, as far as I know, there's no way to click on each mutual aid organization and see what was the last ticket they fulfilled, because that's a way that you can tell if they're still active. Like on various social media, they have that feature where you can see, it'll say like last seen or last logged on, the last time a user logged on, and you can see if that person, like Twitter, for example, if somebody's last tweet was from 2013, it's pretty safe to say that the person is not on Twitter that much anymore, right? So that's kind of the what we're trying to do here with mutual aid parties: hold the people, users accountable, build a community, gamify it so that it's fun, and go from there.
Yeah. That's right. And I think this is the one thing that I like about this. And I know you've been talking to me about this for a bit, but the one thing I like about this is oftentimes we would gather together to support a political candidate, and they make all these promises to the American people, right? And then for those who do win, like the squad, for example, they get into office and then they don't fulfill those promises, or they vote in an opposite way in reference to that legislation on those issues that they ran on, right? And then you just end up disappointed. Well, the point of this that I think makes a lot of sense is that maybe it's gotten to the point where we need to change the way that we've been doing things politically, where the politician comes to us and says, donate to me, support me, canvass for me, and then I will, in return, do these things for you because you are my constituents. We need to flip that. The candidates need to be doing things for us regardless if they win or not. So if they're actually like participating in this mutual aid party that Case Study has, even if they lose, the people still win because they're doing things in the community. And I think that's the important key, because oftentimes that isn't what's happening. They're not doing anything. Like they'll tell you they're going to do things and then you support them and then they win and then they fall short and then we get disappointed and we keep repeating that cycle. Maybe we need to flip it and we need to ask them to do something for us in the beginning, not if they win. So they should be doing mutual aid within the community. There's one person who does this. She's really, I sent it to you before, Case. We were laughing at the video. Laverne.
Oh yeah, Laverne, you did. I remember. Yeah.
Laverne Spicer. Yeah. She's conservative. Yeah. But one of the things that she does do though is she runs like a whole food pantry. Like she does donate and give back to people in the community, regardless if she was a candidate or not. So here's the thing. If someone like Laverne loses, the people in her community still win because she's still helping the people in the community. And oftentimes that does not happen. So I think something like this is a great idea, I think.
Yeah, that's the powerful point of the going and helping people, because you're not asking them, hey, by the way, are you a Democrat? Are you a Republican? Oh, you're a Republican? No, we're not helping you out. We're going to the next door. You're not doing that. So now you're treating people as people, and then you might be able to win the vote of somebody who traditionally votes Republican, or more importantly, don't vote at all. That's the most important, because we're reciprocal creatures, human beings, that if you do something for me, naturally, I'm going to want to do something for you. So that's what I think is going to make this idea powerful, and I look forward to the launch of this and working with people like you, Sabby, and RBN and other networks. Workers Strike Back. I'm hoping to interview Shama next month and see if she will be interested, in this idea, and going from there.
That's right, Case. And speaking of Workers Strike Back, you were just in New York City for the launch of Workers Strike Back. I see you got your T-shirt.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the event. I played like one of your clips on here where Chris Hedges said that he was going to contact Cornel West to put him in touch with the Green Party. What was that like? I went to the launch here in Boston, and I thought it was great. There were a lot of union leaders and organizers, and the railroad workers were there as well. Yeah. So let us know, how did it go?
Yeah, they had a representative from the writers' strike, that's going on right now. I thought it was an awesome event. Traveled there on the train, got to find a place real easy. They had signs showing how to get to the auditorium. I think they were very professional in that sense. When I got to the auditorium, they had a table with T-shirts, pamphlets. I got a whole bunch of pamphlets in my bag. And I went in, sat down. They had an announcer who started off the event, and then they went into the panelists. And man, I wish I was able to meet Shama afterwards, because I did interview her in the past. So I hope she would have remembered me, but unfortunately I had to run to work, so I had to leave a little bit early, but at least I was able to see the full panel. And then on my way out, I was able to talk to Bree and talk to Chris Hedges, which was awesome. That made my day, and take a picture with them. But I watch Shama so much on YouTube, but hearing her in person, she's so dynamic. She's so charismatic. She's so on point with her rhetoric as a worker, a fighter for the working class. And Chris Hedges has such a wealth of knowledge with his historian, knowledge, and just being able to give us the information. And then Bree did an excellent job at moderating the event. I really enjoyed myself. I'm looking forward to the next one. And they also had, like I said, somebody from the writer's strike. They had somebody from union, Amazon. They're working with that right now. I think their biggest initiative is there's Amazon union. I want to say Kentucky, but
yes, that's okay. The biggest one.
Yeah, that's going on right now. So we need to help them get the word out there. We need to help them build momentum for that as much as possible. That's why I bought a shirt. I want to help support them as much as I can, because they're the ones right now. Like, my project is a long-term project. This is a project that you can get your hands on right now to start helping them out. Become a member if you could give $5-10 a month to their organization, because they're going to use that with the Shama was talking about when she was a city council member. She took only workers' wage, and then whatever was left over, they put it in like a strike fund. And they were able to use that to help build power. And it's unfortunate, but in a capitalistic system like America, you need to have capital to be able to fight that system. And that this is one way that we can do it cleanly, by getting money from the working class.
That's right. And I learned something about you, Case, when I saw this picture. So awesome picture here. Here's what I learned, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, let me come out of that way. I learned that Case is a lot taller than I thought. And I know you're taller because I know you're taller than me. You know how I know?
How you know?
Okay, so I've seen Chris Hedges in person before at the Julian Assange rally. I'm a little bit taller than Chris Hedges.
Okay.
So I know you're taller than me. So when I saw this, I was like, oh my God, I thought Case was short.
Yeah, my license says 6 feet, and I'm sticking to what my license says. That's it. I'm not giving the real height, but yeah.
Yeah. Awesome event. And I think, like, what do you think, Case, in reference to, like, there's some division, like, on the left, like, obviously, but in reference to people coming together and working towards, like, a common cause, like, it seems like it's not going to be around one candidate in particular, and that's totally fine. But when I look at something like Workers Strike Back, I feel like that's something that everybody, particularly on the left, should get behind, because all of us should find a way to support the workers. Yeah,
I totally agree. Certain issues are just common sense to be able to help out. When Amazon unions are trying to build power and to try to unionize, that should be a no-brainer for organizations to try to reach out. I thought the Medicare for All marches, whether it was the first one where they marched in different cities or the one where they all went to DC, these are just a no-brainer. Like, we should be able to come around, organize around these type of issues. I understand people saying, oh, this person's involved, that person's involved. But at the very least, even if let's call it a circle of trust. If somebody's outside of your circle of trust and you don't want to mess with them, you should be able to create your own circle of trust and do that same initiative over here. So let's go back to the Amazon Union example. If this person over here is in a different circle of trust and you don't like a person there, you can say, okay, I'm not going to mess with that organization or what they're doing, but I'm going to create my own organization over here and try to do the same thing. And then somebody that might be cool, like I consider myself somebody that's an intermediary, that I'm cool with almost everybody, that I can say, okay, we're going to go over here and we're going to march. And then I'll go to that other circle of trust, say, hey guys, they're going to be marching over here. You guys don't have to talk to each other, but we can all show up in numbers and show numbers count. You know, we saw that Rachel Maddow, when she was trying to poo-poo that anti-war march, one of the things she pointed out was like, oh, there's not a lot of people here. Or people like to look at the crowd and say, oh, there's not a lot of people there. If we could get 10,000 people to an event, which is going to be the goal, we got to think big. We got to go for the big goals. We're going to have 10,000 people going to DC. If that happens, people who don't agree with each other on every single thing are going to have to go to that initiative. So that is the goal, Sabrina.
That's right. I think we have a comment here from Roger. Thanks for the super chat, Roger. So the ticket is filled out by who needs help.
Yes. And then if you're somebody that wants to help somebody, and when you're helping that person, you can talk to them. I know Roger does it all the time. We go to call in. By the way, I'm going to be on the call in for like the first hour to answer any questions. Roger does it when he does his Uber or Lyft, and he's having people listen to Sabby, and he's talking to them about initiatives. He's trying to register people as independent. That's exactly what you would do, Roger. You would go answer tickets while you're helping them out and say, hey, by the way, did you know about this initiative that's going on? Oh, no, I didn't know about this initiative. Oh, can you sign up? I guarantee you, Roger, that if you had like 20% of the people you talk to signed up as independent, if you do mutual aid, it'll probably be like 80% of people, because you're helping them. They're going to feel okay, yeah, I can definitely do this for Roger if you're going to help me out with this other thing.
And Rome does this too, guys. Mm-hmm. When Rome does Tour for the Poor, when he goes to different cities and does mutual aid, he does the same thing. He's also talking to people, educating them about the system that we have in place. So I think it's, you can't just drop off like items to people and say, PC. It's also about the education that I think is also important.
That's exactly it. And we want to also recruit them to join to help other people, because that's what mutual aid is all about. It's not about charity. Charity is just one person giving money all the time, helping out all the time, and not expecting anything in return. No, this is not what that is. Mutual aid is, I'm helping you because one day I will need help. So we need to be able to also recruit those people to the website so that they can, let's say they're a dentist. Hey, can you help give a free cleaning? Or can you help have a dental class on how to keep your teeth hygienic? All these, if you're talking to a lawyer, hey, I helped you out with such and such. Can you help me out? Fill out a contract. It has to be both ways. And that's something that also we're going to gamify. We're going to have to show how many tickets you answered, but also how many tickets did you put out there that you need help? Because I know a lot of people are going to feel like they want to boast, or not boast is the right word. Some people are going to be too proud to ask for help. Some people might be too proud to ask for help, but we want you to ask for help.
That's right. That's right. Well, Case, thank you so much. And guys, Case will be on call-in tonight. So if you have more questions about it, join us on call-in.
Yeah. Much love to you, Sabby. Much love to the chat. I see all my usuals. Too many people to call out, but I love you all in the chat. Much love to you all. I'll see you later. I'll hear you later on call.
All right.
All right.
See you, Case.